Serial dilution. It's one part of enumeration where we take a sample at the beginning and we want to know how many cells there are, how many cells there are in per milliliter of this sample. This is a suspension of Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is the baker's yeast, also used for beer brewing, and we want to find out how many cells there are. If we would just plate these cells or look at these cells, they would be very dense and we can't count it. So what we have to do, you have to make a dilution series. We take sterile PBS and make 1 to 10 serial dilutions in our Eppendorf tubes. So I put the diluent in there. So that it would be a 1 to 10 dilution in each tube. And I label the tubes -1, -2, -3 because they're 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1000, and so on dilutions. I also have one tube where I use as control to make sure that my diluent is sterile. So next, I take 1/10 of the volume of my original tube. Mix it with the first tube, and that's my 1 to 10 dilution. Close it. So that's the first dilution. You mix it, you vortex it. That's the vortex. You mix your sample. And you continue your dilution series until you're done with all your samples. Transfer 1/10 of the volume and vortex. And you can see that I use a fresh pipette tip every time because I don't want to contaminate or increase the transfer. So using pipette tips every time fresh is really important. And the last one is my control, where there will be no cells added. It's just the buffer. Next step, I want to plate my dilutions on petrifilm. In this case, I'm using RYM petrifilms because that's rapid yeast and mold identification. Saccharomyces is a mold yeast. So for each of the tubes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I take a petrifilm and put 1 milliliter onto the petrifilms. The reason why I'm using so many petrifilms is because I don't know what the original concentration is. If I only plate one, I may not get the right number of cells to count. And then I take my pipette, set it to 1 milliliter, and inoculate each petrifilm with 1 milliliter of liquid. If I go from the lowest dilution to the high concentrated ones, I do not have to switch my pipette tips. That's why I start with the control. Take 1 milliliter of the control. You put the liquid on there, and with your little stomp device, you spread it to make it one circle. And you continue this with the other samples. Shouldn't spill out samples. Collect it and put them in the incubator.